Welcome back, everyone. This is our first time recording since we've been back from our trip. We're still a little bit like jet lagged.
I'm very jet lagged.
Yeah,
I
we're
thought
kind
I
of.
was fine until
It's just like waves of exhaustion that are like hitting us at random times.
yeah, I'll have like a burst of energy and I think, okay, I'm fine, and then all of a sudden I can't even like.
Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, it's weird. But I did sleep 80% of the flight home. We got back yesterday.
We both did, yeah.
Anyway, a lot has happened while we've been gone. I know for our channel, it doesn't look, there shouldn't be like any type of gap in uploads, but if we didn't say it enough, the past month we've been gone. So
yeah.
all of April was like batched content. So yes, a lot has happened and it's not good.
We're still catching up on a lot of things that have happened. I feel like as soon as we left so we went to Japan, Korea, and Vietnam, and we recorded everything for the vlog channel. We just pretty much have to go through the footage, and then Linda is going to be the one editing that.
Okay,
so we just have to go through the footage of our trip, and then Linda's going to be the one doing the editing on the vlog channel. So we'll try to get those up as soon as we can, but we're not going to like rush. We want them to be good, and we
that's
think
your
you
way
guys
of
want
saying you can blame Linda if they take a long time.
No. I'm saying like
we filmed, we tried to vlog it.
We did. We vlogged everything.
Yes, we vlogged as much as we could.
Yeah.
And we want to make we'll piece together some videos that are going to be on our other channel. Link is below. You should go subscribe. Yeah,
because we'll start putting those videos out at some point. We're not gonna. I don't want to put a specific date on it because then it just adds this unneeded pressure to like put it out by a specific date. All right. So now that we're back, this video came out literally like 9 hours ago. It's Chinese internet users mock Trump tariffs with AI videos of American sweatshops.
Wait, hold on. That was like a mouthful. Chinese internet user mocks Trump tariffs. Wait. Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be that one guy who does the Trump
Oh, yeah. I remember
on Red
that.
Note. He's so funny.
I wanted to say something that I did notice. So being in Japan, Korea, and Vietnam, pretty much like Asia in general, and I know it's similar with China, but it's just when you travel to these different places that like we're specifically talking about with like our administration, how they kind of like talk down about other countries and they say it's bullshit.
It feels so awkward.
It's so like when you go and you experience things there, you're like, wow, all the shit they say is really just bullshit. Like they're beautiful places, and the people seem way more taken care of than the U.S. That's all I wanted to say. Pretty much, it feels like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we were ones to think otherwise.
No, we weren't. But it's just it's kind of,
it's silly being in another country and then they have the news playing about Trump being ridiculous, and you're just like, well, yeah, that's our president.
Oh, because in one of we would take the public train in Japan, and it would be on the little TV monitor. All right, so let's get into this video now.
Well, we are seeing growing signs the Trump tariffs are already starting to take their toll in the US and China. So which of the world's two largest economies is better prepared to deal with the trade war? CNN's Christy Lou Stout joins us now live from Hong Kong with some answers. Good to see you again, Christy. So how much pain can the people of China handle in the event of a long tariff war with the US?
Rosemary, with the United States and China locking horns over tariffs, an economic pain war is underway. And experts say that China has the capacity to endure it. Watch this.
Well, I think just from like the history of China itself, and they're a very old civilization, they've gone through a lot of pain, and they've dealt with pain as a society. And I think that they know how to come together with tougher situations than we do, because we're still so young and haven't really gone through we have gone through painful situations, I guess, but I don't know. It just seems different.
It's completely different. China look how fast China's been developing. I don't think.
Yeah, there was a map in
I don't think
2000.
they're gonna. It does suck to lose business in one way or another, but it's just a matter of time before this course corrects, and it's gonna take a long time because of what Trump's doing with the tariffs.
Well, there was,
but it's not gonna. They have business in other countries too. It's not just America.
Yeah, and we like to paint this image that like we're needed by everyone.
I mean, yeah, that's what our government. That's what he does try to do. They do try to make it seem like.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure there was a time where maybe that rang true.
I think we exported a lot more back in the day. Like back in the day, being like decades ago. But I think there was this guy in China who was on the news there, and he was speaking to like Americans, and it was this Chinese guy, and he was saying for decades that like billionaires and oligarchs have been sending work overseas to China and other places to exploit cheap labor. And in that meantime, it was killing the middle class and the working class in the US like over a long period of time. And they were saying, he was saying like, oh yeah, like China did make money off of this, but they invested that into the people, into the infrastructure, into lifting people out of poverty, into doing all these things. And
so it didn't just go into billionaires' pockets.
Yeah, and that's what he was saying.
There.
He's like, and you like the billionaires just pretty much took money from you guys and are just telling you to be happy about it. But yeah, I was like, yeah, he's not wrong.
Well, yeah, he's not wrong, but we also what are we gonna do?
He was just saying you don't need tariffs, you need a revolution. That's
Right.
what he was telling the American people.
I do think America is on the brink for a civil war, though.
This will be a fast war!
The battle at Lake Changjin is one of China's biggest ever blockbusters. Commissioned by the Chinese government, it glorifies the Chinese soldiers who fought American troops in the Korean War.
Oh, yeah.
Fast forward to today, and China and the U.S. are locking horns in another epic battle.
China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them.
Be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end.
Trump started this war with China, aiming in part to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. Chinese netizens mock the idea with AI-generated videos showing a post-tariff world of dingy American factories with downcast workers. Decades of trade have brought bumper profits to both countries, and as U.S.-China trade withers, fortunes are turning. In the U.S., the price of goods could shoot up, fueling inflation and putting the U.S. at real risk of recession.
That's what Linda's been saying. Like we went grocery shopping. Linda's like, we got to get like this, and this because like prices are going to go up.
There's certain things that I know it's not going to be everything because I know we do produce a lot of our
like agriculture and food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here, but if one thing COVID has taught me is that people will
panic.
Jump and panic buy things, and I'm like, listen, I'm not a hoarder, but I do want to be a little prepared because I know prices are going to go up, and there's going to be companies that are going to take this as an opportunity to like price gouge you.
Yeah.
Even if they don't need to, and then there are other products where, yeah, the price is just going to inflate because they're not importing right now.
Yeah.
Or the supply
We're
is
gonna
not going to meet the demand.
Yeah, and the shelves will be empty with that product. Yeah.
So I know regardless if Trump lifted this tomorrow, the ports are empty right now. And who knows how long it's going to take to see more goods coming in.
Yeah.
It sounds so insane to live in a 2025 world and I don't know. It's just so bizarre. It's so bizarre living in a first world country and we're not progressing. We're constantly regressing.
That's what I was also talking about because a lot of times people will label certain countries as like third world, second world. And in my opinion, they seem to be investing a lot more than we are into the people and the infrastructure.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay.
Oh, side note, I think, was it today or last night was the election in Canada?
Oh yeah, the liberal president one.
Yeah, people. It's just interesting to see the timing of the flip over there, and then
I think Trump helped that happen because people united against this like conservative type of thinking.
I would not be shocked if they saw what we had and were like, not happening.
Yeah.
And in China, a prolonged trade war could put countless factories out of business. The
Yeah, it
question
will
is,
hurt them
how
too.
much pain can the people of China handle in the event of a long trade war with the U.S.?
I think the pain threshold is probably higher for Chinese society. The Chinese government, being an authoritarian government, may have its own advantage because it can more easily reallocate resources.
The Chinese have endured famine, the Cultural Revolution, and more recently, 3 years of strict COVID-19 lockdowns before protesters bravely took to the streets. And in this trade war, pain is already being felt. On social media, Chinese factory owners post images of their products piling up in warehouses, while workers show how machines and production lines have shut down. Despite a dire economic forecast, many patriotic entrepreneurs are standing firm.
Even if the tariffs increase to 500%, I'm not afraid. Please rest assured, we can hold on.
Stop all the orders. Stop all the export orders. I will not chicken out.
We can give up the U.S. market. I can let this batch of orders rot in the warehouse. We must give up illusions and prepare for struggle. For China.
In the battle at Lake Changjin,
I will say it is pretty wild to see how much solidarity they're having with their government and saying like, well, we'll suffer through the consequences and for as long as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, consequences that they didn't ask for.
Yeah.
But I did see before we went on our trip a ton of exporters posting on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Like websites to buy things directly from them and not.
Yeah, and you
through
save like a
middleman.
ton of money.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see them try to take that power into their own hands versus having like a middleman and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah.
Soldiers are seen gorging on Thanksgiving turkey while Chinese troops chew frozen potatoes in the trenches. Yet they still beat the Americans later. Trump's trade war pits the U.S. and China in a new challenge of resilience that's not about business or money. It's about honor and national pride. Look, China is putting on a brave face, but China is indeed starting to feel the pain from Donald Trump's tariff war. In fact, new economic data out this week on Wednesday said that for the month of April, factory activity in China has fallen faster than expected. On top of that, international banks have slashed growth forecasts for the year for China. China has also been dealing with a myriad of economic challenges at home, including high youth unemployment, rising local government debt, a prolonged property crisis, etc. But China, again, putting a brave face forward. We're seeing that with the new propaganda push out this week with social media videos saying that China, quote, won't kneel to U.S. tariffs. So China is digging in for a protracted and painful battle ahead. Rosemary.
Right. Our thanks to Christy Loostout bringing us that incredible report there. Appreciate it.
Earlier, I
all
spoke with
because
Rana
Trump
Fuga,
is
CNN's
fucking
global
so prideful. Like, it just does not make sense.
I mean, the thing is like
I
tariffs do make sense, but if you do it strategically, he's not doing it strategically. He's just doing it like
5%.
He's just doing it out of ego. That's what it seems like.
He thinks he's encouraging businesses to.
I know. Bring it home, pretty much.
It's not happening.
The thing is that we've already set it up so far for decades that like there's no way we're gonna bring back as like manufacturing jobs and all these things here. It would cost way too much for.
It would take way
all the
too much
businesses.
time. It would cost way too much. I don't think businesses are gonna sit here and start doing that.
They're not.
They're gonna wait this out until he comes to his senses or somebody just boots him out the door.
They're gonna lay people off until things calm down.
Right.
But,
It would take so much more like resources to uproot your businesses and start manufacturing here just for probably our next administration. Who knows if we're going to get one, because who fucking knows where this country's headed. But hypothetically, that sounds so weird to say, because I'm like, why am I even entertaining the thought that we wouldn't have a new president in a few years anyway, to probably go and reverse this or I don't know. I feel like Congress has a lot more power than they're putting up right now to prevent this from happening.
I mean, they may be getting paid off. Who knows, honestly.
Yeah, what do I know, though? I'm not a economist.
economic analyst and associate editor for the Financial Times. I asked her if there's any basis at all for blaming Joe Biden for this poor economic growth.
Oh yeah, I couldn't believe that
came
shit.
into this administration in the best recovery, post-COVID recovery in the rich world. I mean, people were dying to have our recovery. Within 100 days, President Trump has managed to turn it into what is almost certainly, by most Wall Street analysts' assumptions, going to be a recession by the second or third quarter of this year. Everything from the trade wars to the market crash to the general uncertainty of not knowing whether what you're hearing today is going to hold tomorrow has just put an absolute dampener on business, on trade, and on consumer spending. So hard to argue that this isn't about Trump.
Well, let's hear some alternative facts then from White House trade advisor Peter Navarro. Here he is.
This was the best negative print, as they say in the trade, for GDP I have ever seen in my life. It really should be very positive news for America.
All you have to do is strip out the negative effects from a surge in imports, click your heels 3 times, bada bing, bada boom.
I can't. Our whole system is just bullshit. I'm just like, when I see these things, I'm just like, this is all such, it's all such bullshit.
Also, this is off topic, but it's still relevant to what's happening here. Every Republican in the House voted to make it legal to deport U.S. citizens today.
There has to be some standards to that. Like there has to be some. You have to be like a certain criminal or something.
I mean, that's literally against the Constitution. That's illegal. So don't really know how that's going to unfold, but not really sure I'm seeing anybody get locked up for doing anything illegal in this country anymore.
Yeah, you can pretty much buy your way out of it. Yeah. That was the thing that they're doing with power is they're pretty much saying that you can side with us and then you'll be okay. Like you won't get in trouble. But
the U.S. economy grew by 3%. You know, I don't think you get to take the bad numbers out, right, to get a better result. That's not how it works.
You know, a lot of people feel that the American economy and American society is becoming more like China, and Peter Navarro is going a fair way towards making that happen. Made up statistics. You know, John, I just don't know what to say. Can't make heads or tails of that.
And when it comes to possible shortages in stores because of the Trump's tariff-mageddon, as well as higher prices for U.S. consumers, President Trump seemed kind of dismissive about all of that. Here he is.
Somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know? And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally.
There's a couple of things there, but I just want to get your reaction.
What is he talking about dolls?
Because from China.
Brian, I know. It was a question. The way he's trying to dumb it down to children's toys.
Yeah. He's pretty much... The thing is, like, Trump doesn't have empathy.
Trump doesn't have empathy those dolls
for, like,
are people's
anyone.
medicine. Okay? Like
That's true. A lot of our medicine does come from China.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that.
I know. I told my mom yesterday. I was like,
load up now. Yeah, load up now.
now.
We should have got medication from Vietnam.
I got my inhalers, but I don't know.
Oh, by the way, that was crazy. Yeah, she got 2 of her inhalers, and they were what, like $3 each, sir?
I'm so sorry for all the yawning. Yeah, no, I got dirt cheap inhalers. They're the same fucking thing I get here for a tiny portion of the cost. Hold on, my ADHD's kicking in and I'm getting sidetracked.
You were talking
dolls. Okay, what do you mean fucking? Sorry, little Cindy Lou Who is only gonna get $2 this year instead of 30. You fucking idiot. I don't know. I don't get it. It's more than dolls, my guy, and I'm 99% sure of the people who fucking trust this idiot, this clown, are not going to read between the lines. They're just going to take it for what he's saying.
There's a lot of people that still support everything he's doing, which I don't understand those people. But
yeah, maybe it'll cost a little more, but it's better for you.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cost more.
The thing that's happening though with all of everything that people are not seeing the bigger picture is there's just a huge amount of wealth shifting up to these people, and it's just going to continue to happen.
What are you talking about? Billionaires are they're the good guys, Brian. Okay, they're looking out for us.
All right.
Did that comment sound totally and completely out of touch to you?
It sounded flippant.
No, not at all.
It's Trump's take on something that has been said in more coherent ways by some others in the administration, and particularly in Trump 1. You know, Bob Lighthizer, the former USTR, was a big fan of, look, we don't need more cheap stuff. You can argue that. You can argue that, you know, we don't need 30 dolls that are going to go into landfills. But I think what the president's doing there is a little bit disingenuous, because he's trying to sort of, with a wave of the hand,
dolls, guys.
make light of something that really isn't going to be about dolls. It's going to be about cars and about factories and whether they can stay open and get their inputs. It's about rare earth minerals and whether we're going to be able to actually have a clean energy revolution in this country. So, you know, I think he's trying to have a little bit both ways there.
He did seem to acknowledge that prices are going up because of tariffs, and that does seem to be an achievement. But they're going up not by a couple of bucks, they're going up by a lot of bucks. And there also seemed to be kind of a tacit acknowledgement, if you like, that things just aren't really going according to plan.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think that it's hard for the president at this stage to argue that, hey, it's all sunshine and roses. I mean, you know, we haven't had 100 days that's been this devastating for the market in, you know, almost 100 years. So I think he's trying to find some way to square this circle. But the truth of the matter is there's more pain coming. You know, tariffs take effect slowly, and we don't seem to have any clear deals in place. Whether or not that happens in the summer, who's to say? What we are seeing is hoarding, inventory hoarding, which has the effect of actually driving inflation up because people don't know if they're going to be able to get things tomorrow. And again, I think that you can see in the poll numbers that this president has got some of the worst.
Okay, we're not hoarding
numbers for a sitting president at this stage than we've seen in 100 years.
That's not what I was doing.
We're prepared.
I
wouldn't even.
I was looking at you because it's just like, oh, like what you were mentioning. Like that's what she's saying about like that. They might not be available.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, shocker, not at all. I'm worried for the next few months.
The USA invests in tax breaks for its billionaires. China invests into its infrastructure and education. Which country has a better future?
Right. Why couldn't Trump be president like in 50 years or like?
Because
not in my lifetime.
I don't know. We're gonna see how this plays out. This video came out today, so we'll see. But
I am curious how much China actually does depend on trade with us, or
I do think it's a decent amount. I think
right, like enough to feel it, but is it? Are we their primary?
Probably, I would say yes, because we have such a high amount of consumerism here, and most of that consumerism comes from China.
Yeah, everyone is fucking hyper consumer here.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it's like that from other places in the world too, like combined, if you know what I mean.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Also, who knows how many countries are going to cut us off as far as exporting from here in solidarity with.
I think we like barely export anything.
Maybe.
Oh, I think I saw also Elon is leaving Doge. I think because he needs to go back to Tesla, because I think there was something that came out that their Tesla board is like looking to replace him as CEO.
His baby. He's like, no.
And I think he got really offended by that. I don't know. We'll see.
It's almost like these men can't afford to think ahead. They can afford everything but to think ahead.
Yeah, especially when it affects millions of people. All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this one. And please make sure to jump over to our vlog channel. We appreciate you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Linda's probably going to go back to sleep now.
Take a nap. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you. Bye, guys.